People can die. People can be killed under a Democrat administration in what is a major, major scandal. And I didn't even get into the lying that happened afterwards over Benghazi. A video did it, whatever. And yet, if you bring it up, you're considered the crazy person, not the leftist who got people killed and then lied about it. It's a MoveOn.org strategy. They do this all the time. They did it with Bill Clinton. Remember when Bill Clinton was in the Oval Office? Remember the what is? You have to ask your parents. If you're younger listening to the show, you're not ready for that yet. But remember that? We didn't get answers on that until months and years later either. And the Democrats were like, impeachment for lying and all this other stuff he did. Nah, nonsense. Move on. MoveOn.org. Even a website about it. They pulled the same stunt with Hunter Biden. And having been in this business for a long time now, 8 years on podcasts and doing TV for longer than that, that's exactly what they did here. They lied, they lied, they lied, they hid, they censored the Hunter Biden story until people out there like you and me got tired of hearing about it and candidly got frustrated. And then what did they do? When the story finally breaks, conveniently, yes, it breaks into the mainstream media, despite you having known about it for years. What do the Democrats say? Time to move on. This is old news. Nah, it's not. It's not old news. I'm not going to do that. So despite the fact that the story doesn't rate well, I don't care. It's only the biggest political scandal of our time. The fact that the now sitting president of the United States is sitting in the Oval Office and was selling access through his son while being proposed a cut of the spoils of the said sales. No, I'm not going to let that go. Now, why is the story coming up today? Because CBS, a clown show of a news network, an embarrassment, and the people who broke this story should be embarrassed who broke it. Believe me, I'm using that term loosely, in the broken media. They waited 769 days. The New York Post broke the Hunter Biden story, not 76.9 or 7.69. 769 days ago. The New York Post broke the Hunter Biden story. CBS comes out yesterday and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. This is bananas. We asked the guy to look at the laptop and it turns out that it's actually Hunter Biden's laptop. Oh really? It is. Where's my thing? That's interesting for you Fox Nation viewers at home. Because I had this receipt, it's upside down here, from Hunter Biden's laptop and a copy of it. I've had this for about the same amount of time. The receipt for Hunter Biden's laptop, where he dropped off the greatest treasure trove of evidence of a corruption scandal in American history, was dropped off on 4/12/19. We were in the 10s still. We weren't even in the 20s. That's when this scandal should have broke. But the media, because they suck really bad at their job, the media decided we got to make this thing go away. Now, I'm going to cover this on my Fox show on Saturday night, too, because I'm getting so tired of it. What do you think is interesting about the timeline? About when the media and CBS finally decided yesterday to verify the Hunter Biden laptop? What do you think is interesting about it? Now, you may say, of course, Dan, after the election. And I would say, yes, but you're missing the important. It's not just that CBS waited 769 days and waited till after a midterm election. After a midterm election to announce that they verified a laptop they could have verified 769 days ago. It's that, did you notice they waited till after the election? What the hell does that mean? After. They didn't wait till the next day. There were still races left to be called. But when they found out that the House was lost, that the Senate was basically going to be a push, and that the governorships might break their way, all of a sudden they said, let's get this out right now. But there's another part. Not just they waited till after an election and after an election. There is another part you're missing here. There's another hook. There's another curveball. Another knuckleball. What is it? Well, if you listen to my podcast, you're already a step ahead. they launched it as early as possible after the midterm elections, as early as possible, so as not to impact the next election in 2024, because by then they'll do the MoveOn.org thing again. We talked about that 2 years ago. It's